All right, what's going on, everybody? I'm Tyson from Beyond the Label. Got my man Doe next to me. We're interviewing Baron Davis over here.
My good brother.
What's happening?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up with
What's
it? What's
the deal?
up with it, man? My
Ain't
dog
what's
is
up,
in the
dog?
building.
What's up, Doe?
What's happening with it?
Ain't
This is my
nothing.
dog right here, man.
Come on, man. Doe got me on them push-ups, man, trying to get me right.
Come on, y'all heard you got a session coming up too, man, about 5, man. I heard you back in the...
Man, I'm back in the lab, back in the gym.
Yeah.
I'm now taking the kids to the gym.
Come on.
You know, I'm
Excellent pop.
Man, I heard working out with you is crazy.
Oh, it is, man. You know, I go in, man. You know what I mean?
I heard working out with you is
and just
crazy.
just peanut butter and water too, man. No preservatives, man.
That's it?
That's
yeah,
it.
but he don't do no legs, though. He don't do nothing legs. Nothing legs. It's
just a
I
big
do some
muscle.
squats. You know what I mean? I do some squats.
I'm gonna be
man. I'm
like
not
this, you know, like I'm just gonna be like this from now on.
Just big.
Walking around
big
with,
on the
you know
top
what
and
I
small
mean?
on the
Yeah,
bottom.
come on.
I mean, I do a few little squats, man. You know what I mean? I do enough to make sure I can carry the top.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, because the push-ups and the burpees, that's crazy.
Nah, I mean, that's like the best shit, though. I mean, push
Yeah, that get you right. That get you
Yeah,
in
yeah,
shape.
yeah. That part.
and it stick with you longer. That's why I'm like a big calisthenics freak.
See, man,
Pull-ups, push-ups, you know what I mean?
I did it one time with John. I was sore.
No,
I'm talking
sure you
about,
gonna be sore.
I couldn't wipe my the next day.
I wore John out, though. Pause. That's my
Oh,
dog.
you got him? You got
Pause.
him?
Oh yeah, man. I had him on the bench and the pull-ups. One after another. You know what I mean?
Good, yeah. Hey, he did me so
I don't even
bad.
play like that, bro. But
He did me so bad.
It's for people to, you know, find more, whether it's a startup brand and bring them along, or, you know, a semi-corporate brand and push them over the top. It's just more opportunity and more money,
Facts.
you know, into the space of paying, you know, athletes, even now people who are content creators in sports.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like it wasn't like that before. Those people were like consultants doing events and things like that. Now they're just paying, you know, people to post pictures, opening boxes and things like that.
Right.
You know, that game is really it just opened up the world so where so many different people can make contributions and also earn a living. So I would say,
Facts.
you know, the brand of basketball changed as far as like everybody being able to pour in.
Right.
And then the game became more about speed and skill, you know, and a display of skill, right, which kind of opened up, you know, the opportunity now for, you know, explosive games or more talent to actually get an opportunity to display themselves.
Right.
I was
gonna say, I just want to touch back. You were talking about like branding the players. So like in the NCAA, they have the NIL deals now.
yeah.
What's your take on that? Like, why do you think it took the NCAA so long to get to that point where they're paying
Well, I
college
think
athletes?
you look at the evolution of the game and like what we just talked about, how the game is, like the NCAA can't beat a dinosaur, right? And so for so long, the NCAA is, you know, just kind of been the covenant, right? And almost treated themselves like a bank and been banking, you know, on, you know, I wouldn't say the exploitation of the athlete, right? But the branding of the athlete, right? They're the only people that actually owned your brand through the colleges and became, you know, the collection, the dictator, you know, and the main stop. So now with NIL, it's just giving schools an opportunity to, you know, find their way of paying athletes, treating it a different space. You know, I'm for it. I do think that brands are doing a terrible job in the NIL space because they're not really like building any brands. Like back in the day, the brand and the athlete used to create a commercial that made sense and was relevant to building the athlete career or their name. And so now you just get people just doing all kind of like, you know, they'll do anything just for anything, you know, and like the shit don't be funny or the shit don't hit or the shit put them in, you know, or put the brand in a bad situation because now you ain't even identifying that athlete with that brand. So it's just a fly-by-night scenario. The schools don't really know how to brand the athletes, you know what I mean? And so you paying these athletes all this money, but you're not branding the program or the school or the athlete to brand the school. So, you know, there's a lot of things that, you know, can be fixed. There's a lot of things that can, you know, create more business for people. You know what I mean? I'm just all for it because a lot of my business and what I'm doing is about branding, content, and then really trying to create narratives, right, around a brand, around athletes, around celebrities, right, where it's like some shit is memorable.
Right.
You know what I mean? We have nothing that's memorable. You know what I'm saying? So we live in a disposable, content existing world. We got to create more things that are like memorable.
If you get 2 weeks, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, how can you see some of these major brands and they just keep clicking in on the same commercials and shit. And it's like, we didn't like the first one. Right. You just keep hitting us with the same shit, thinking that that's a recipe for their success based on numbers or metrics. But like all that shit to me is fool's gold.
Creativity, you know what I mean? You be out the door, man, with a lot of that shit. You know what I mean? It's like, you got one, they'll just follow one creator and then they'll just try to duplicate that 20 times until somebody else figures something out.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Facts. So it's just, just the constant, just non-creative shit. A lot of things is not creative to me that's going on, even with, just music, just everything in general. With the world right now, it's just a lot of microwave shit. You know what I mean? Yeah,
facts. Microwave. I like that. Microwave. Yeah, music-wise, too, shit is microwave.
Yeah. Super.
Or it's just hard to find, music or a playlist that is kind of curated the right way. You know what I mean? It's like it's whoever the fuck is curating playlists or the new music or breaking new artists, like, man, they doing a hell of a job of failing. You know what I mean? Because I used to buy everybody's shit when music came out. As a DJ, I try and listen to everybody's shit. And it's like, good thing, I got good people in music who got great ears because like I'm constantly being turned on, not only just the commercial shit, but like who's next and then what's popping in the underground. You know what I mean? And so hip hop has kind of lost its uniqueness. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because people have kind of just taken the commercial side of hip hop and just said, okay, this is it. So it's back to the brands, it's back to where people putting their money into, and the shit ain't really hit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's like even with just correlating back to just the rest of the world, just what goes on in the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Sports, music, you know what I mean? It just seemed like everything is just so just like what we say again, just microwave. You know what I mean? It's really no creativity in the shit. Like you gotta think about even the Come Fly With Me, not the Come Fly With Me, but even the Jordan and Spike commercials.
Yeah, but think about it. You just said Come Fly With Me. We knew exactly what you was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. We
know what I mean?
Identify that with Jordan.
Yeah.
There's nothing now that we can identify.
Mars Black, like who's the Mars Blackman in basketball? You feel what I'm saying? Like, ain't no air nothing. Nah. We call everybody by their first name.
Damn, that's real.
Like, where the nicknames at? Like, why don't we know these dudes' nicknames or what they call themselves? Like, why ain't the brand diving into that?
So, like, at what point, though, in time do you think, like, this started happening? When did you start making, like, notice of it?
It was just happening, man. I think, as the game grows and, the pot gets bigger and more people have more say-so, and more budget to control, then, then it's gatekeeping at the top. And it's really cliquish at the top. And so you're not really, like, originality is not going to be able to, like, originality very, very few times seeps his way into corporate.
I can even think back, just for me personally, on the outside watching, I can even remember when they made y'all start wearing suits.
Yeah,
because I remember when for a long, for a time period, man, these coming to the games with the shine down for Lord with the
bro.
Even just that when they made y'all structure and come to the games with suits.
Look,
I think that
I was on the call for that during the lockout.
Yeah,
and we was arguing over deal points and shit, and that was one of the deal points. And it's like 30, 40 people on the call. And I don't know if it was Zoom or whatnot, but it was a call. And motherfuckers was like, man, fuck that dress code, man. Motherfucker want to, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, bro, are we serious? Like, are we serious? I was like, man, fuck the dress code, man. Accept that. You know what I mean? Oh, we got to wear. So I said, man, rules are meant to be broken. And
there it is.
There's no reason to argue about a dress code, you know what I mean, when this is going to open up the floodgate. Now, you know what I mean, we don't all look the same. Yeah. So to somebody who wearing the Sean John velour and the jersey with the gold chain and the diamonds and all that, you know, and got his hair, you know, twisted up or in cornrows and got tattoos. If you ain't Allen Iverson, you don't live that, homie.
That's true.
It's not a lot of y'all that's really living this. You know what I mean? And we also a target. So take off them shits.
That's real shit.
Take that jewelry off, throw on a suit, throw on some fly shit. Let's go shopping, spend the money elsewhere, and it's gonna open up a whole nother thing.
Man, I can remember.
And then the niggas say, and then they say on the call, oh, you can say that shit because you be wearing that weird shit anyway. I was like, hey, man, we ain't about to be sitting here arguing over no dress code.
You was a fashion dude already.
Yeah, I was just into like, you know, everybody would, like fashion had waves. Right. You know what I mean? And so for me, it was like, there's no reason to be surfing in the wave, you know what I mean, where it's another break point over there and some whole nother style. Yeah. So I was always, you know, from a fashion standpoint, always trying to create, you know, my own clothing line or, you know, mock-ups or whatnot. Like we was the first people to take the T-shirts and do the screen printing with the photos. Oh. So like Ali, you know what I mean? Or like a Jordan where it was like the picture. Well, I don't know how you do it, a screen press, but the homie did that. Even going back, you know, to the Black Wall Street days where they was pressing up T-shirts as promo for Game and like the Who Got Game. You know what I mean? Got Game. I'm sorry, it was the Got Game T-shirt. So, you know, I came up with a clothing line called Black Child, where I was taking like historical black figures and their quotes and putting them on T-shirts back in the day. You know what I mean? So it was just like fashion was something I was always interested in. And I always wanted to make shit. I always wanted to like be behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So it was always like, you know, I knew like I ain't no fashion dude. You know what I mean? I got a style. LA got a style. I want to perfect that style. You dig what I'm saying? And just put my style, really, you know, in the market. You feel what I'm saying? And when everybody was going fashion, I had a show on Esquire that was about style. You know what I mean? Wow. So it's like I wanted to quickly separate myself from like the fashion because like I'm not gonna be wearing no tight ass leather pants. You feel what I'm saying? With like a sheer. You know, with a sheer shirt with my nipples hanging out. None of that shit. You ain't gonna never catch me
they be wild
doing that unless I'm in a movie or some shit. You know what I mean? Playing like a 70s R&B singer or some shit. You know what I mean?
It gotta be the 70s, bro. Maybe the 80s.
But you know what? Like that just ain't my style. Now where I rock some leather pants, yeah, but they ain't gonna be tight, motherfucker. You gonna be like, oh, them cool. You know what I mean?
Right, fashionable.
I know you. Hey, just in case you would have said something, I do got some leather pants. They fly too.
Yeah, I know, but yeah, I wasn't gonna blaze you out. You know what I mean? You my dog. I wasn't gonna blaze you on camera, man. But shit, even just speaking on that, man, what you think about some of these players these days, man? How they be coming to the game? They be, you know, the fashion, I think, took it to,
like the way I look at it, they took it to a whole nother level, bro.
Yeah, facts.
And that's what that shit is meant for. You know what I mean? Because it's another expression for who they are. Yeah. So now you can be, you know, you can look at Kyle Kuzma and you can be like, okay, like he really on the fashion shit. He really at the, like, you know what Kyle Kuzma doing, you know what I mean? As far as like in the summertime or fashion, when you know he there. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, he in Paris.
You know, it's just a great way for them to brand themselves and to differentiate themselves. You know what I mean? As far as like who you are when you walking into the arena and what people want to see as the personal side to complement the game. You feel what I'm saying?
Individuality, you know what I mean? That's one thing I do say, to even going back to just the Iverson time. Man, I remember just once Iverson started coming with the braids and the tattoos, and you
everybody
started seeing the whole way.
Yeah, the whole way.
So the individuality was gone to me because everybody was trying to be
I would say more. It was more people connected with that.
True.
The NBA did not know that basketball is always bigger than just the NBA. You know, as a culture.
That's true.
And so when you see somebody like Allen Iverson, that made every dude in any hood, You know what I mean? That was a little dude or a guard or somebody was like, yo, I come from this. I don't have to change my, you know what I mean? Because everything was like, no tattoos, cookie cutter. You got to have a fade. You know, like even like a motherfucker playing with an afro or a high top cut. Like all that shit had to be very, you know, it was like very presentable because you got to present your best self forward at that time. Then Allen Iverson come and it's like, man, this is who I am, homie. And then at the time in the league, more the personalities of people start differentiating. You know what I mean? Like Kobe was different than Allen Iverson. You dig what I'm saying? Marbury was different than Allen Iverson, but Marbury had that same street element, but just it was different. You know what I mean? York, so you could tap in and you could see like it was a movement, and dudes would start recognizing dudes who were proud to come from where they came from. Right, and it wasn't just the school, right? Because before it was like you only know Michael Jordan from North Carolina. You know what I mean?
Michigan
like,
State,
you only know Magic from Michigan State. It wasn't like they telling they whole. Isaiah was really one of the first dudes that was like, I'm from Chicago, but when you look and you see Isaiah Thomas, it's Detroit Pistons, Indiana. That's the story. For us, it was like Kevin Garnett from South Carolina, go to Chicago. You know what I mean? Kobe Bryant, Italy, Philly. You know what I mean? So like those stories are like backstories start to become, start to unwind.
Right, you're right.
And then the kids start looking at it like, man, shit, I'm about to grow braids too. You know what I mean? And like tattoos was the thing that started becoming accepted.
Yeah. I was seeing little white kids, man, with braids and tattoos back then. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, Allen Iverson was was a cultural revolution, bro.
Definitely, man.
He was a cultural revolution.
Yeah. So do you see any of the fashion from back then recycled now?
A lot of that shit, man. It was just motherfuckers was wearing it 5 times bigger.
Man, super.
Nah.
Just put up a picture of Baron with his draft suit on, man.
Oh, man. That was sick. I can feel it wasn't too big. It was big, but it wasn't too big.
2004 was like the era for just
big.
Like, but if you look at like velour or like those short out, the monochrome like shorts, shit like that. That's coming back. You look at what Shaka we're doing with the t-shirts. They bringing back, like this tour merch t-shirt, the artist merch shit. People getting back to like athletes' pictures on shirts, and you know what I mean. It won't take too long for people start rocking jerseys again. So everything got its little ebbs and flows and trends.
Listen, I ain't never stopped wearing jerseys, man.
Yeah, I wear jerseys all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, I pay homage.
I'm the only one. I don't wear jerseys.
I gotta get you a jersey, homie.
I need a big oversized.
I gotta get you a big one, like 5X. Karl Malone or something.
2X will work fine.
Do that to that man.
So let's go back to 1999 in the draft. Is there anybody from that class that you still keep in contact with, or still just like was like, damn, this person is gonna be a threat when we play against each other or play with each other in the league?
Man, I'm cool with everybody in the draft class. Sean Marion, Steve Francis, Rip Hamilton, Jason Terry, Lamar Odom I'm cool with. Corey Maggette is my dog. Damn. Ron Artest is my dog. You know what I mean? Like we knew each other since we was in high school.
Yeah.
So we come through the league all at the same time, exit at different times, but ain't nothing really can break that bond when you competing against a dude, but you see from basketball camp, Steven Jackson, he wasn't in my draft class, but you see those dudes accomplish things, and then on the other side, you get a chance to really, celebrate a dude and tell him, how good he was or how good you thought he was. Because when you're playing in the league, you don't really get a chance to get nobody no flowers. Right. You know what I mean? It's like
competition.
It's like, man, you ain't gonna be talking great about no other goddamn point guards. You know, like you're gonna give them some love, but you ain't gonna really let them know like how tough they are, right? Because nobody's gonna want to give anybody an advantage or know like you scared of him or like you don't get no sleep when you know you about to play against this dude. But after the fact, everybody kind of like get to tell their stories and shit. You know what I mean? And or secrets or little things that they, studied about certain people that they admire. And so, for us and for me in that draft class, everybody, I'm cool with pretty much a lot of dudes in that class.
Oh, that's solid.
Class, a few champions in that class too, man.
Yeah.
Jason Terry,
Terry, Sean Marion, won together. Lamar Odom, champion.
Facts. Yeah. So you talked about just like not giving the person their flowers or whatnot. So who was it that you were studying the night before the game? Like, who was like the person that you feared, or maybe not feared, but you knew when you were going against them it was going to be some shit?
Everybody.
Everybody?
Yeah, I would have won, no fear. Nah, hell no. I laugh too much, bro. Like, I would... Either I'm laughing and having a good time, or I'm upset and I'm trying to fucking tear somebody's head off.
Yeah.
And so the latter is not... the latter is always like just when people see me play, they like, oh, yeah,
Yeah. Like there's no happy medium.
Yeah, like all the way up automatically.
Yeah.
You
know what
aggressive.
I mean?
You played aggressive, though.
Yeah, but if I'm like having a good time and having fun and like, just playing the game, having fun, like that's dangerous too.
Yeah.
Because I'm really like laughing at you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I can have my way. You feel what I'm saying? So, but when you think about, like, there is no highs and lows. Yeah. You got Steve Nash one night, Jason Kidd the next night, Steve Francis the next night, Andre Miller the next night, Jason Terry one night, Terrell Brandon the next night, Rod Strickland the next night, Nick Van Exel one night, Damon Stoudemire the next night, Darren Williams one night, Chris Paul the next night. You know what I mean? Like, man, shit.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
That's nonstop too.
I forgot
I can keep going.
Yeah.
Then you talk about GP. I played against GP. Then you think, okay, you got Jason Williams over in Memphis. Okay, Jason Williams out. Earl Watson starting. God damn. That nigga know me. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got like, even the dogs, Jared, Jack, all them young dudes, they coming off the bench, they hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They hungry, they fearless. Jamal Tinsley, he was cold.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Indiana, wasn't he?
Yeah, Andre Miller, like all these dudes, you sitting around and you like, oh shit, bro, like, all right, I bet I gotta go first. Man, I gotta go first, bro. Yeah. I'm not playing with these dudes, right? Because if you let any of them control the game, then they're gonna embarrass you. And as for a point guard, it was always like, it's control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's control, it's leadership, it's time, it's flow, it's making teammates perform better than theirs, right? So if it do get to a mano thing, you know what I mean? Then my style should win over your style. Right. You dig what I'm saying?
You setting the temperature for it.
Absolutely.
For sure. So
Mo Williams. I got to shout out Mo Williams.
That's the wizard, man.
I got to shout out.
Number 40 with Sacramento.
No, that's Walt Williams.
That's Walt Williams. I'm sure. That was the wizard.
Mo Williams. Mike Bibby.
Yeah.
Come on, Mike Bibby.
Arizona.
Ain't no days off.
Nah.
Gilbert Arenas. Ain't no days off, bro.
Yeah. Agent Zero.
It ain't no days off. You know what I'm saying?
So what's like the mental preparation for that? Like, you're going against all these dogs every single night. What's something you have to tell yourself, like,
are we on national television? What time we play?
Yeah.
And there's the cameras on. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is real? Okay. Them cameras on? Let's go. TJ Ford, another great one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all these motherfuckers was just dangerous, bro.
Yeah.
D Wade played point guard sometimes. Dangerous.
But I remember, matter of fact, speaking on D Wade, that might have been his first year. Was that second round?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I remember just watching that. You was out. I don't know if you was out there on the. You had hurt your ankle or your knee.
Nah, I came into the playoffs hurt or banged up.
Okay.
But they beat us in Game 7.
I remember.
And I got hurt in Game 7.
Playing hard though. I'm saying.
Nah, we was going at it. That was a hell of a series.
Was.
And then Game 7 happened. We definitely like, man, we about to get this game. Like, we know we can win in Miami. We gonna get one of these motherfuckers. Game start. Lamar Odom drive to the hole. I stand there, take a charge. Knowing if we get Lamar Odom in foul trouble, like, he the glue.
Right.
Man, bruised my tailbone, can't play in Game 7. Was trying everything to just move. It was one of the worst feelings I ever had in my life, yo.
That's a matter of fact. That's when they traded everybody that was at the next year. That's when they brought LeBron in that next year too. I think Miami was at the next year.
Nah, it was another.
Shaq. That's when Shaq came.
Yeah, they brought the Shaq. They brought Shaq in.
And then them Lakers. Lamar Odom went to them Lakers, man.
So let's talk about probably like 2002, 2003-ish. You start really seeing like money in the league. Did that change you in any way or change like your lifestyle,
sure.
how you started maneuvering around things and stuff like that?
Yeah, I started living like a rapper, bro.
So like fancy cars, going to the club every night?
Nah, I mean, you're going to spend a little bit, but it wasn't like I ain't really into cars unless it's a low rider.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was traveling a lot, you know what I mean? Traveling a lot. Hanging out was fun, but you had the homies and all that. It was like, okay, now, back then, everybody had an entourage.
Yeah.
Right.
The rappers got an entourage, the athletes got an entourage, and you better have somebody with you.
Right.
With all that goddamn jewelry on.
Real shit.
Right.
It was different times.
So yeah,
back then,
either
man.
you with a bunch of dudes and all y'all got on jewelry, that's when you safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you the one dude got the jewelry and you got a bunch of dudes around and you ain't that safe because
Them
ain't
niggas
nobody
might
else
turn
got
on
no
you,
jewelry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was kind of like that was my Tupac era.
Yeah.
I always said like when I got some money, I was gonna live like I was Tupac, and I always wanted to be close to like, man, what was Pac going through? You feel what I'm saying? So in the off season, I always hung with like rappers in the rap. I just hung around, go to rap events and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then I was in LA, so LA in the summertime, it's all like rap, music, hanging out, gang banging, low riders. You know what I mean? And like not getting jacked. When you go into the club.
Yeah.
And I wasn't worried about none of that shit. I was just fascinated that
you was good.
like people was just giving me access, you know what I mean? To like be able to like be around, music grades, be at great events, be in some trouble situations that I got myself out, being around some people that, would appear to be scary, but like have a different perspective on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm really a part of the history. And as somebody who can narrate, you know what I mean? Like I was there a lot of times like shit was cracking or I was present in the moment to know like, damn, this was a moment, and so that's kind of like the route I chose to go.
Okay.
First was like, man, let me see what the homies look like. Let me see what LA look like. Let me go back to LA. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can survive LA, walking around with, a big ass LA chain with, red rubies with LA and the palm trees and pave diamonds. Nas had the QB. I had the LA joint. The shit was so heavy, niggas had to take it off in the club and pass it to niggas. You know what I mean? Nigga in the club like this, like, man, my motherfucking neck hurt. Everybody standing around, move, nigga.
That's hard.
Move, my chain. Nigga sitting like,
man, we might got to get you to bring that back out.
Man, hell no.
You still got it?
Somebody gonna get killed. Niggas gonna get killed, bro.
You still have that
chains
chain?
up.
Yeah.
Put them chains up.
Man, even speaking on, man, just going back to how you saying you want to feel like or just live like Tupac for a moment.
Yeah.
Man, I just know, man, just speaking with my brother Noble Edie, man, they said that you interned for Maui Records for Tupac's mom when you was in, I believe, college.
Yeah, I was in college.
Yeah, they said you wrote you was, this Edie word said you was one of the ones that used to write inside the inlay of the album, as far as the lyrics and the. Was that true?
I worked on. I was just interning, bro. I was just,
okay, I'm just saying. Was that true? That's Edie
chopping
word.
up game. Yeah. I mean, that's
ill
just
shit.
another story. But
That just show how your hip hop history though. Too,
yeah,
though.
man, I was just, bro. Do you know I used to file Michael Jackson's paperwork.
Hell no.
Tell that story.
Exclusive.
I was an intern for a law firm. They represent like Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, Carlos Santana, Dallas Austin, and like I was like an assistant, so I had to go work in the file room. So I would.
That's dope.
So basically, like people's files and shit like that. Like I would have, like I still have to remember, like if they were to call and be like, "Yo, like where did you put, X, Y, and Z at?" I'm like, "Oh, I found it." I mean, I'm sure they don't have to anymore, but that was like for a long time I was hella nervous. Like, man, these people gonna call me like, "Where'd you put that shit at?" I was like, "Nah, I really did it. I followed directions, bro. I really followed directions."
Yeah.
But I did that, and then with Pac and with the with the moms, it was just like however I was just trying to get close.
Yeah.
To the family, to the world, to...
How was that experience, though? like, because was you able, like, you was around her a lot for us to be able to vibe and talk to her?
No, it was more so like they had like a little office out here, and they had some people like representing the state, like some really incredible young women that was, just still pushing his narrative, trying to figure out, how to push his brand. Yeah. And so for me, like I was just like fascinated with Tupac all along. I was just trying to figure out like if I was gonna make a major investment in my life, you know what I mean? I wanted, like, that was the thing that I was gonna invest in, was Tupac estate. So like, that was just kind of like the dude, like that's like the person I'm most fascinated with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Was most fascinated or influenced by, I would say.
So he's in your top 3 top rappers?
Hey, number one.
Number one.
Respectable.
Yeah.
Respectable.
I had to answer that for him, my bad.
Yeah, number one.
So it's a known
he's my
fact.
number one too. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, number one. It's no questions. There's no questions.
Right. Okay.
Biggie number 2. No questions.
Biggie's
I ain't
definitely.
gonna, man, I don't want to start nothing.
But I ain't gonna keep going. Biggie number 2 to me. It was Pac.
I get Biggie
and
number
it was Biggie.
Don't do Biggie.
I kind of want to do Hove number 2 though, man. I don't
No
know.
way.
Don't do Biggie.
No
like
way.
that.
I kind of want to do Hove
You
number 2.
can't. I mean, you can do Hove, but you gotta think.
Biggie before Hove.
25% of Hove lyrics
Was
are
Biggie.
Biggie quotes.
Yeah, but Big loved him so much as an MC though.
Give a fuck.
Loved him.
That's like,
Yeah. So I think that's just Big.
Hey, bro, that's- yeah,
because he
yeah.
rap with him. No, that's what I'm looking at. Because he rap
bro,
with him.
that's like somebody taking
Yeah,
Tupac verses.
he
Right.
did that too though.
Yeah, no,
did
I'm
a whole
saying
joint,
somebody
actually.
take Tupac verse and rap, you know what I mean? Ain't nothing but a gangster party. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider.
That
Do
might
you want to
come up,
fuck
too.
with me?
I
That's
can see
somebody
somebody
like
coming with that, too.
basically like flipping, it's like, yes, it's homage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Tupac already said that.
I get it.
He
I
flipped
get
it.
Touche,
You know what I
me
mean?
touche,
So that's why Biggie,
for MCs,
that's why
for
Biggie
sure.
go over Jay-Z, because to me,
For
Biggie
MCs,
is
for sure.
the originator. You know what I mean?
Of the bar.
His own shit. Like he
Right.
said it better than Jay-Z said it.
That's true. That's true.
I agree with that.
Touche.
200%.
So I can't, I can't argue against that.
When
I
the
just
women's
think
in the
me, I just
system,
think Hove.
ain't no
I think
telling
Hove
what
said
a fucker will
to
have
me
diss him.
personally, Hove might have said it better though.
No way.
He might have said a Big verse better than Big though.
No way.
I might get killed for that.
I say a big verse, I'm only
know
bigging up my
about
brother.
that.
You know what
don't
I mean? I
know.
say a
I
big
don't
Hove
verse.
might kill me for
I
that.
fuck with Jay-Z.
Nah,
Jay-Z
yeah.
probably 3. Him and Snoop tied for 3.
He up there. It's a good. Then Nas, I got to squeeze Nas for sure. Nas in my top 5.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Nas up there. I after like Pac and Biggie, I pair together. Then I paired Jay-Z and Snoop together.
That's a good one.
And then I paired Kendrick and Wayne together.
That's a good one.
You feel what I'm saying?
Damn, that's a damn good one right there.
Yeah.
Kendrick and
I
Wayne,
just
for
make
sure.
like
2-1.
connections. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got Nas and Scarface.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, speaking on that, what you your quick thoughts on that? Even though that battle, it's a little dated. I still just your quick thoughts on that.
That was good, man. I think it's good. Hip hop needs to be woken up. A lot of times when you're thinking about like, just the world we live in, everybody putting out music, everybody cool, and then it's like, nah, fuck that, we not cool. Everybody go to your corner and let's see what
fight.
y'all come up with.
Yeah.
So now it's like
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
and to me, it's gonna be better for what's to come because now it's like you gotta ride with your coast.
Yeah.
And
Most
and now the coast gotta now present
Y'all hear
more
that West
than
Coast?
just one person, one
Pay close
sound.
attention.
It's like who is it? Is Atlanta go get the shit? You know, are they gonna get the shit back to number one? Is New York? Is it Toronto? Yeah. Is it fucking LA? You know what I mean? Or California with LA and the Bay? You know, is it Texas? Like, you know, people starting to pop up. Yeah. And so now it's like, you know, what the Midwest got to say. So everybody got something to say and got to chime in. Now it's like the support, right? Because this beef wasn't really like, okay, ain't no shoot 'em up, ain't nobody. You know, like we don't have to go through none of that. That's what I do like about
that was the blessing about
the era and the time, right? Because back in our era, at any point when I was in the league and two dudes was at it, like, and you saw each other, it was cracking. You know what I mean? Thank God for social media that people are not forced to be confrontational, you know, in real life.
They could talk it out over
They
live.
can talk it out,
Talk it out over
and
live.
so I think this beef is good for hip hop because now it just give more lanes for people to look at the West, look at the East, and give more artists opportunity to be like, all right, like, damn, okay, let's see what the West, you know, got to say. Like, who else got to join, or what's the sound like they not like us, or what's the sound with, you know, what's the underground scene, who rapping over here, like, who making commercial pop songs, you know what I mean? Who making hip hop songs, you know what I mean? That's trendy, you know what I mean? That's trendy shit. And so now it's like, all right, the spotlight on everybody. Who gonna rep their coast? Who gonna, like, which coast is gonna come together and outperform? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they watching right now too, especially out here, especially out west, man. Shout out to Kendrick, man, for that display of great chess playing. We've been great MCing and chess playing.
Yeah, we've been low. Excuse me. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't like we just been low.
Right.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? We've been taking L's. We've been taking L's.
Oh, for sure.
You got Nip. You got the Drakeo kid. You know what I mean? You got all the inner city beef and all that shit.
Yeah.
Long live the ruler.
And so, like, we ain't really been like we've been making music, but ain't nobody really been like we've been dormant.
Right.
And so now, like, LA starting to wake back up. You know what I mean? People starting to hang out. People starting to make records together and shit. Jay Worthy, you know, he on the way.
Shout out
you feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Ice Cold Bishops, TF. You got a whole new, you know, Dom Kennedy still. You know, Dom about to come out with some new shit. Like, the anticipation is there. You know what I mean? And it's a good mix of, like, you know, the dudes who had a presence, who are present. Yeah. But it's also these dudes who've been underground or been pushing the indie that are now starting to get that love and that recognition. So it's just like the West is opening up, and then you start looking at the Bay, all the dope people coming out the Bay. You know, it's just, you know, it's time for that next California love song. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got to do that, man. We got to do that.
Oh, that'd be a straight setup.
Yeah, real shit.
Come on, man.
On Shaka Wear Records.
I'm with that. That's gonna be fire. That's gonna be one of the ones.
Hey, we about to put that together.
So let's go back in time still. Do you have anybody that was with you from the beginning now still with you, like in your inner circle?
Everybody.
Everybody's still there? The same people you came up with? Perfect. No, that's solid.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody?
That's a testament to the
Shout out the Big Sky. Yeah. Shout out the Bigs.
The Big Sky.
Terminator.
Yes,
that's
sir.
my dog.
Sir.
But even like when in college, me and all my teammates, everybody had ambitions to be in the league and go to pro. But it was like, hey, man, you know, some of us ain't going to make it. Some dudes want to be a coach, being an agent. So I just took everybody with me and say, fuck it, we going to figure this shit out until we all stick. You know what I mean? And so
that's love. That's,
you know, shout out to, you know, all the homies that just, you know, believed in me from the beginning and used the opportunity to solidify themselves in the league with jobs and careers and shit like that.
Yeah. So there's like this thing about like agents who take money from the artists or their athletes that they're representing, stuff like that. Did you ever run into any type of business where you dealt with shady agencies or a shady agent or manager or anything of that sort?
Have you?
Have I? Mm-hmm. No, I haven't.
Oh, damn. You ain't lived enough.
Nah.
Keep living. No, it's, you know, you gotta protect yourself. Like, not everybody is there to help you for your benefit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And sometimes, like, short-term benefit to you could be long-term benefit to someone else. You know what I mean? And so when you live in a world where people are actual professionals and working, people want to work to have professional careers, and everybody else is hustling, and you get a big melting pot of the people who have know-how and the people who have know-how, you know what I mean? And don't know how, right? And so you got a lot of faking it till you make it. But you also have a lot of misrepresentation, and you got a lot of people that don't understand the artist or the athlete or the, you know what I mean, or the musician. And so if you don't understand your client or your business partner or the person that you trust to handle your business, if they don't understand you and what your overall goal is, then it's like chances are they're not going to be able to help you. Not for no long term. You know what I mean?
True. So what's your favorite for?
I'll be watching Tubi though.
I was just finna ask you.
I'll be watching Tubi, and I watch YouTube TV for the games.
Tubi is ill though. Tubi got some stuff on there.
I watch Showtime Max.
And it's free. It's
what is it called?
Have to cost for it.
HBO Max or some shit like that.
HBO
but
Max,
I watch Game of Thrones. So I watch Game of Thrones like every year.
I never watched that, man.
Bro, I watch the whole shit every year. Clockwork. Every year I watch the whole shit.
Have you seen the House of Dragons?
I watch House of Dragons too. It's about to come out, so I'm about to go a whole week. Don't bother me. I'm about to watch House of Dragons. You know what I mean? Because bro, like it took them 3 months to get me to be able to bend my knee.
Damn.
So I just be sitting in the bed and shit like, man, what's on? Boom. Bro, I started watching that shit. And, you know, I'm like in and out because I'm taking pain pills. So I'm like watching this shit, man. I wind up sitting through the whole first episode. And I was like, man, I do not understand what the fuck just happened. So I watched the shit again. And I was like, okay, this shit is interesting. Like, I'm into it. But I still don't know what the fuck is going on. When I watched that shit again, then episode 2 came out, and I was like, okay, I'm locked in. Okay, I know it comes out every Sunday. You know what I mean?
Your program.
Oh, bro, and then I would watch it 3 times a week just to understand what was happening. But I never really could quite understand it. I was just fascinated. And then my homeboy in New York, shout out to Rob, he had came through, I was icing my knee, and we started talking about it, and this fool read the book, all the shit. So he became my Game of Thrones coach, bro. So every week, you know what I mean? It was like, on Thursday, we watch Game of Thrones, and then he break everything down and tell me what's about to happen in the future, what happened in the past, and while he trying to predict the shit. So, like, I kind of, like, fell into that, like, book club or, like, class, and then Game of Thrones was just kind of like my shit.
You think that not to cut you off? You think just speaking on, because I know you said you was injured, so you think that kind of helps you just kind of take your mind off of what was going on and kind of just help you get a program and put your mind somewhere else outside of what was going on at the media time, or wasn't that deep?
No, bro, I tell you, like when you sitting there, you can't move, and then you go to the doctor, and then they bending your shit, and your shit don't move, and they are fucking like damn near like 2 people trying to bend your shit. I've never been in that much pain in my life. I never cry, bro.
Dang.
Like like even when I fucked my shit up with the Knicks, I didn't cry. I was laughing. I was like, damn, bro. I was sitting there crying. It was the worst pain I ever went through. So like everything that I did when I was home was just like, man, I'm gonna go through this because I just want to be able to walk. You know what I mean?
That part.
And so every show, Family Feud was my shit. The Bob Marley doc, you know, and then like my homeboys in Hollywood, they was just sending me like screeners for TV shows, and like, you know, people was just trying to like, you know, keep me going. But every day I woke up, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be able to move my knee just a little bit, and this is one day closer for me to be able to walk. If I can just be able to walk and stand up in New York, I won. Then when I got there, I was like, okay, I can barely walk. I don't need crutches. I'm going to work my way to being able to walk from the doctor all the way back to my house. And so you know what I mean? And so it's like, you learn that even though I wind up going back to played in the G League, you know what I mean? Like, it was sitting in that bed and couldn't move was like, I didn't even think that I would be able to play again, right? So it was like, focus till you surprise yourself, and then when you surprise yourself, it's not enough. Set more goals, you know what I mean? And the smallest goal is the best goal. You know what I mean? So the smaller steps, the smaller goals keep you focused on what you need to do. You know what I mean?
I kind of equate that to my time being incarcerated too, though. You know what I mean? Because it's like you can't move in there too, though. So that's why I asked about the TV shows, because
that's your guiding light. Yeah,
that was my program.
Yep.
But then even just speaking about the just the one move at a time, just speaking on how I just got through as far as with just the putting together projects. So I could call today, try to get a verse for this. You know what I mean? Then it was the same thing for you, kind of trying to bend it a little bit. Just before you know it, the shit put together.
And you ready to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Sometimes, you know, and we ain't talking about my music career right now, but that's a big part of like how I approach my music career. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you just wanna do it like this. Lay this down.
That's when we put the Jeopardy music on. That. Oh, you might get your question like that. All right.
Cool. All right, cool. So after you got back from the surgery and you went to the G League, what was it like being back in that competitive space after being out for as long as you were?
I mean, it was cool. I was getting close. I had my kids. They were young, and I was still kind of like, didn't know if I really wanted to play, leave my kids. You know, I didn't have kids when I played.
Yeah.
And so it was like, man, I want to be a present father and like a super dad. So at that moment, it was just the decision to be like, you know what, I'm just going to not play anymore and just focus on.
Right, so it's not because you couldn't physically do it, but you know your priorities have shifted.
Well,
since.
And also you watching, and it's like, it's time passing me. Do I belong? You know what I mean? Am I taking a spot? Am I battling some kid that it's always been his dream? You know what I mean? And just on my name, not on my game. You know, and like it was just like you get to a certain point where it's like, can I do it or can I not? And when you feel like that, you might as well just be checked out.
Okay.
Even speaking that part, what like I know it's a lot of cats that played. I just remember, man, you talking about Kevin Willis. He played to like 43 or something.
Yeah.
Just you personally, do you? Because I know you were saying, you know, they could be taking a spot from another player. Do you feel that you know, a cat supposed to stay beyond his prime just to get a check?
No, I think you're supposed to stay as long as you love the game.
There it is.
You're supposed to play as long as you love the game. You know what I mean? And for me, because I got hurt, it was different. I was just in a purgatory. So it took me a while to get back to like purpose, like basketball as a purpose or as a love. You know what I mean? Because it becomes disappointing at times. You know what I mean? And it's like, damn, I built my whole career up to go out like this. And you come back and it's like, damn, I'm right there and I get hurt again. And it's like, shit, you know, I'm knocking on the door. So, you know, at some point you just gotta be like, either I'm gonna push through everything again and start these baby steps, you know, over until I get all the way back to the top, or I'm gonna take this focus and put it into something else.
Right. So do you think that you would, or how long do you think you would have lasted if you didn't get injured?
Wow, I still be playing. I could play right now,
shit.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could, like if my body told me I
just
could.
dunked.
My mind and my skills tell me I can play. But my body gotta be the one that like, you know, lead the charge. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
What about coaching? Would you ever coach?
I would love to coach.
That'd be dope.
I think now, you know, like watching the game more, doing podcasts, you know, analyzing the game, like I would love to coach because now I know like now being a player is over with.
Yeah.
And so now I know how to impart my knowledge and things like that. So I've been coaching kids. I coached in the Drew, you know, just to kind of like, you know, get my feet wet or whatnot to see like what I was capable of, but more so like what kind of style I would be with a lot of talent with no talent. You know what I mean? And really, it's like, you know, you got to learn to like trust yourself and trust what you are imparting to the next generation. So for me, it's like now working some kids out that's going pro in the pros. And the more and more I can just stay around the game and just start poking my head in, you know, some of these rooms as far as like GM rooms and coaches rooms, and just start conditioning myself that way. You know, I'm ready to coach now. Like I'm the type of person that, you know, somebody can just be
Lakers
like,
need you, man.
just give him a job, let him be the head coach. And I'd be like, all right, we're going to figure this shit out and get to cracking. Like, it ain't going to take too long, you know what I mean? But that is something that I definitely, you know, want to do, or become like a team president, GM on the business side, help with the marketing and branding, because, you know, content is my recipe. Being a creative is like my thing.
Slick,
so
man.
It could be, you know, some great opportunities to work with a team in this capacity now.
Man, speaking about Mark, just tell us a little bit about Slick.
Yeah, Slick, man, sports, lifestyle, and culture. We came up with that about 12 years ago. And the goal was we wanted to build a channel, a studio, and a platform where, you know, whether you're a designer, whether you're a rapper, whether you're A&R, you know, producer, you know, athlete, you had a place to be your best creative self. And as a studio, you know, and as a creative collective, we would help you, you know, manufacture these things so they come to life and bring those things to life. You know, so now we're working on our Creator Fest and Creator Tour. And then ultimately, you know, the Slick Creator Fest will be for filmmakers, you know, documentarians, short form, you know, and just kind of honoring all the different content creators in culture, not just, you know, the musician and the producer, but the engineer, the A&Rs, right? All these people, you know, the fashion designer, but also the fashion makers, you know. And so building out our festival, you know, where we can honor people in culture and start giving flowers and awards, you know, to those people, but looking at the platform as being that connective tissue.
Right. You know, that's
right. So hopefully Shaka Wear, you know, we figure it out.
Oh, you know,
and
we
Shaka Wear is on,
Shaka,
you know, the Slick Fast
man.
channel. And then we got the Shaka Wear Slick collabo, and, you know, we doing, you know, events at the studio or basketball games at the studio, and Shaka Wear is a collaborator with some of the artists and the people that we work with. So,
and you've been showing Shaka Wear so much love,
and Shaka Wear came with the Bordeaux Mill t-shirt.
You know what I mean?
But it's time for me to get, you know, I need me a, you know, we need a little Slick label carve out here at Shaka Wear. You know what I mean? So when I walk in, we can get the design and get these collaborations.
Get White
cracking.
T on the line, man. Where White T
White
at,
T
man?
John.
White T John on the line.
That's
man.
the one.
Big
You gotta
dog,
get
man.
John on the line.
That's the one.
Quit
White T
playing,
John.
Shit.
Shout out
And
White
you
T
got
John.
basketball, and like
see,
this
you
ain't
had
no
that touch.
sled
Look, he
here.
had that touch right there
Yeah,
for
I
you,
know,
man.
that's
Man.
cool.
I told him
But
we was gonna
where's
pull.
the
Look, we
sports?
gonna
Come
move all
on,
these
yo.
after this, and then I'm gonna. You know what I mean? I'm gonna dunk on you one time,
Nah,
man.
bro, we ain't.
Karolinko, man. I'm gonna.
Now we gotta have a Shaka Wear court at Slick Studios,
that'll
so we
be
can
ill.
have an outdoor
That'll be
look, the
fire.
outdoor vibe.
That'll be
You
ill.
feel what I'm saying? And
That'd be ill.
putting a swap meet in Slick. So I want the Shaka Wear to be like, you know, our main blanks and shit. So when people come through, do they parties, and we press them up. You know what I mean? Just that whole swap meet, that energy. LA need that energy back.
Right.
But this our shit. You know what I mean? And our shit look like this, and it's designing. You know, I always say, you know, swap meet with the go yard. No one can do it better. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
the culture out here, man.
You know, it's
I
like
mean,
being able to like put that style together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people are gonna be out here looking for white tees, t-shirts. This is summertime shorts.
Yeah.
You know, we gonna be able to have that whole little setup, you know, at our studio.
with the Bordeaux Mill music to go with it. Too,
Bordeaux
though,
Mill, man, the music is crazy.
It's coming, man. Still cut
Still cut, dropping in less than 2 weeks.
on the way.
After that, Oatmeal and the Big Apple is dropping 2 weeks after that.
Man, can we
you
get
got-
a
you
list
got
of
it- you
just
got
some
it
of the just
stacked
real
up.
quick some of the artists you work with thus far? That Bordeaux
Man,
Mill's
Jay
work with.
Worthy. Shout out to Jay Worthy. Shout out to Jay Worthy. Shout out to Jay Stone.
Like Stone.
Cornerstones.
There it is.
As artists in like Bordeaux Mill, you know, trajectory of being like, yo, man, you gotta put your shit you gotta put your shit out. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Big Sky. That's my brother. Shout out to Dom Kennedy. You know what I mean? I got him on one. Mr. Fab, Bad Luck, Drebo, G Perico, 211, TF, Food for Thought. Shout out to the great poet, Food for Thought.
Raheem Devon,
Local Astronauts, Raheem Devon, Washe, who else?
People on.
D1, La Russell.
Oh, no, he got some stuff, man. See,
Ice Cold Bishop.
He still missing something. You said them twice. He still missing something though. Did we say Smoke Dizzle?
Smoke Dizzle. We got some shit.
Currency sending one in.
Me, I'm waiting for Currency to send me some shit.
Send that thing in, man. We waiting on you.
Papoose. Neek
yeah.
Bucks.
Conductor Williams album coming soon.
Conductor Williams album, No Idea album coming soon. Like my goal is to like drop like 5-6 albums this year. You know what I mean? And just like, you know, I've been cooking up and I just been tucking the music and organizing it and arranging it. And so, you know, people fucking with it. So it's like now just after I put Still Cut out for a little bit, it started gaining traction. So I took it back off. Now I'm gonna put it out like the way I wanted to package it with all the right artists. And then each album is just a little, you know, it's just a journey. And then coming back with Live from the Swap Meet, that's gonna be real, like the first project with all the visuals and shit like that. Kind of like a short film, like a short movie, and a soundtrack. And that's called Live from the Swap Meet. AC Alone on that, all West Coast, G Perico, Dom Kennedy, Mike and Keys.
Shout out Mike and Keys.
It's a gang of people on that one. Jay Worthy on that one again.
Yeah. We got TF on that one too. He on that one too.
I think TF on that one too. Jay Stone on that one. Yep. Hyde Park.
Shout out my guy, man.
Shout out my guy, Hyde Park.
Yeah,
congratulations on the baby.
No doubt.
Yeah, we got dope ass producers, Python P, Soundtrack, Mike and Keys.
Shout out Python. Shout out Python.
Shit.
My dog.
Fat Jack. Local Astronauts.
Got my boy Bad Drew. Got my good partner Bad Drew.
Bad Drew to go. Yeah, he on there.
He slid in.
Yeah. Local Astronauts in there. Polly Rob. You know, a bunch of different people, man. And I'm on some of these productions. Shout out to homie Shaka and Shaka Ware. Homie Shaka, he on one of the beats I produced called Little Homies.
Shaka Cold.
Yeah,
man.
Shaka Cold. He came through. But, you know, music is like a gift now, you know what I mean? And it's like, fuck it, let's just share it. Let's create, let's collaborate. And like people pull up, they pull up ready to work, you know what I mean? And you know, the whole Bardo Mill project, I'm just excited that I can give people music, merchandise, you know what I mean, at the same time.
The full experience.
And they one of the same. Yeah.
That's some dope ass music, man.
Thank you, dog, man. I appreciate you. Dope Networks.
Man. Great, man. You're a great MC, man. You know what I mean? You've been working your way up the ranks, brother.
Yeah, hey, bro, look. me and my brother Time had a bet.
Yeah.
When I got the studio, I was like, man, I was making beats, and I was like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna start rapping. And he was like, yeah, bro, you tight, but like you ain't a real rapper.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, what does it take to be a real rapper? You know what I mean? He like, man, all these people are way tighter than you. And I was like, all right, I gotta treat this like I treat basketball.
There it is, I knew it.
So I went and put the top 50 LA rappers on the list. And I'm nowhere on the list. And I was like, man, every like 3 or 4 months, I'm gonna come back to my brother and say, am I better than him? Or is my music just as good as this? Would you listen to this or would you listen to this? Yeah. And so, you know, I think the competitive side and basketball side was like, figure out not so much who you better than, but like, how do I get into the NBA of like these 50 dudes? You know what I mean?
That's hard.
And then the next 50, how do I like, I want to be a part of that draft class. You know what I mean? And have my name in there. So, you know, now I'm somewhere in there. You know what I mean?
He in there for sure.
And
you made it.
And
Top
I made it
right
as
now.
a rapper. Like people come to the studio to make music.
Still shit.
With Bardo Mill.
Yeah.
And I got a good ear, man. I DJ, make beats. So like the A&R arrangement side, like I know what I want to hear and I know what other people want to hear. You know what I mean? So it's really about, as an artist, complimenting people, right? What kind of artist are you? And it's like, I'm really good being complimentary, right? And bringing other elements and ingredients to whatever the main course as an artist is. So always being able to like feature the artist, you know, through the oatmeals and give, you know, 5 mics. Shout out to 5 mics. Yeah. That's another one, put the motor in my back too. Come on, son. What you doing, son? Get that shit out, son. What you doing, son? You can't be holding music, son. It's like dope. Get rid of it, son. You know what I mean?
Let it go. No, you right.
Yeah, so. Yeah, shout out to Bardo Mill. He come out at around 9 o'clock at night every night.
Yeah, about 9:30, man.
9 o'clock?
About 9 o'clock. That's when
come out.
That's when you're going to get Bardo Mill. You're going to get the mask. You know what I mean? You're going to get just the energy. You know what I mean?
Are you doing any shows?
I don't know, man. We trying to figure it out. I mean, everybody say runs, I got to figure out this mask, though. This mask is you know, it's not that comfortable when you perform it. You know, I've been performing.
We might get a thinner mask, man. A thinner.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the ski mask.
We need a thinner mask, man.
But, you know, not that I need a gimmick, but it's better that people just fuck with the music than to be like, oh, it's Baron Davis.
Right. So
and
you
then
want
like, nah,
like
full Bardo Mill.
What's the Spanish wrestlers they call with the mask? What's the name of this?
Like MF Doom is a big
Luchadora.
You want one of those kind of man? That thin, that's a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you look at somebody like MF Doom, shout out to the legend. Super. You know, something like that. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it's like, menacing. You really fuck with Bardo Mill. And you know, I haven't really figured out my show yet. Yeah. I did a couple at our studio. I performed with Jay Worthy, open up. Like just more so 1 or 2 songs or whatnot. Yeah. Shout out to Doughboy for that, just pushing me on stage and being like, fuck it, you'll figure it out. But like my whole show is like, I'm so creative, bro, that I couldn't just like sit there and like it has to be a whole experience. So I'm working on that first show. That experience, but we got the live band. You know, we waiting for all our oatmeal characters. You know what I mean? We just ordered them from the moon, so when they get here, now I got a whole new entourage. You know what I mean? Of oatmeals, like real life oatmeals, oatmeal characters. People like, what the fuck is an oatmeal? Like, it's just, you know, these my little mascots and shit. So when they come out, it's gonna be cracking.
Going down.
Okay, real quick, just to circle back, in the NBA, just back on the basketball topic, do you have any one remarkable moment that you have that you could share with us about Kobe?
Well, I mean, I would say for Kobe, you know, as an artist, like if Kobe was an artist, right? Like if he was a painter, right? Kobe would paint on a high wire between the Grand Canyon, on a trolley, standing on it, with a paintbrush holding the canvas.
Damn.
So when you talk about degree of difficulty, when you talk about mastering the impossible, you know what I mean? When you talk about being fearless, you know what I mean? And actually, like, the confidence, the belief of no matter what, I'm going to get to the end of the destination. That's Kobe Bryant.
Damn, that was beautiful.
That was ill, right? That was beautiful, man. I never.
And then you see it, like, and then I seen him. You know, one time I think we was at Tile or some shit, and somebody come down at the table like, "Hey, man, Kobe upstairs. He want to see you." You know what I mean? And so, you know, you're in New York and shit in town, and it's like the pit, but then the people upstairs. Yeah. So I go upstairs, this motherfucker got a big ass black trench coat like he Neo from the Matrix and shit. It was like, yeah, bro, I saw you down there. You know, I sent for you. I said, bro, who is you up here thinking you are, bro? Neo from the Matrix?
They had the shades on, too.
Oh, bro, hey. But, like, every time me and Kobe got together, it was always like, my role was like, yeah, we're going to talk about some hoop shit, but it was like, make him laugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just make him laugh and, like, fuck with him, like, you know, nobody, you know, like people would be intimidated, you know what I mean? So every time it was just, I would always say some funny shit, you know what I mean? Or something that was funny.
That's dope.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire.
All right.
Well, this is Beyond the Label. I'm Tyson. This is Doe. We have Baron Davis with us. Appreciate you guys for tapping in.
Appreciate y'all, man.